that I know is gonna make me cry.
And sobbing my little heart out.
I don't know why I do this to myself. Welcome back to the channel. This is the beginning of a new weekly reading vlog. It's the end of the semester. I have about 2.5 weeks left of school, so I'm not really sure how many books I'm going to be able to get to. Show you little snippets here and there of my week and of what I'm currently reading. So I am currently at the very beginning of 4 books. I don't know why I do this to myself. Very beginning of Blue Lily Lily Blue, the 3rd book in the Raven cycle. I won't be talking about it too much because there is a full vlog coming for that series, which I'm super excited about. But I think I'm like 2 or 3 pages into it. I'm also reading Remarkably Bright Creatures. I'm listening to this awesome audiobook. I think I'm about 10% into this one, just a few chapters in, and I'm really enjoying it. Not what I was expecting. We follow 3 main characters so far. Marcellus, a giant octopus, and his captivity in this aquarium. And so far, those are my favorite chapters, to be honest. He is my favorite character. I freaking love Marcellus. He is so smart and a freaking badass and just really funny as well. And then we follow Tova, who is a lady in her 60s or 70s. Her husband has died, and so she began working night shifts at the aquarium where Miss Marcellus lives. And that's where I'm at so far. We also follow our other main character. Um what's his name? Cameron? I don't really know how he connects with the other 2 yet. Haven't gotten to that point yet, but we've just gotten little snippets of his life. He keeps losing his job. He was raised by his aunt because his mom was a drug addict and left him when he was very young with his aunt. He's just been really struggling overall. He can't seem to keep a job. He can't seem to keep a girlfriend. He's going through it. It's been rough. And I'm just waiting for his storyline to merge with the other 2. But that's where we're at so far. I am really enjoying it. It's just a bit of a slower pace book. And then finally, I just started yesterday The Girl from the Other Side, which is a manga. I watched the movie The Girl from the Other Side with my boyfriend the other day, and it was beautiful. The art is stunning. I'm gonna go ahead and put up just little snippets of the manga in here because so beautiful. I am in love with the art style. And the movie made absolutely no sense. If you want to watch something that's beautiful and pretty short, go ahead and watch the movie, but it makes no sense. And so we looked it up, and it turns out that the reason it makes no sense is because there's 12 volumes in the manga, and instead of making it into a TV show, they had somehow crammed as much as they could into the movie, and therefore the storyline just doesn't really work as well as it does in the manga. So I decided to go ahead and pick up the manga. If I'm bored and I need something easy and beautiful and quick, then I'll be picking up this manga, and we'll see. I could probably get through the 2 or 3 volumes if I wanted to this week, but it just really depends on what I'm in the mood for. I'm definitely a mood reader, and it's been gray and cold and gloomy and rainy. It has not stopped raining. My classes have all been switched to virtual because campus is closed. Parts of it have flooded, trees have fallen, accidents have happened. It's bad. So all I want to do is lay in bed and rot and read. I'm just not really sure what I'm in the mood for. So let's go ahead and see. Update time. The weather has gotten worse. It's cold, it's gloomy, it's raining, and I feel a cold coming. My sister is very sick, and so I think it's just right around the corner for me. I have tea brewing. I've made myself a bowl of soup, and I can kind of feel a reading slump creeping on, and I'm trying so hard not to let it happen. I just need something that I know is gonna make me cry. I don't know if that makes sense. I needed to feel cozy and familiar and heartbreaking. And so I have decided to pick up none other than the last book in the Greenbound saga, Jade Legacy. I've been putting it off because it's the last book in the series, and I wasn't sure if I was ready to go through the heartbreak, but I think this might be the perfect week for it. I don't have to go to class. It's all online. I don't have to swim at 7 in the morning on Friday. Thank God. And so I think this is the book that will help me not go into a reading slump. I'm worried though. I know this is gonna break my heart, but I'm ready. Oh, and I am still listening to Remarkably Bright Creatures, and I'm loving it. I may or may not have shed a few tears last night when I was listening to a chapter before going to bed. I love Marcellus. I love that the three storylines have now fully merged, and I'm excited to continue listening to it, but it's just definitely one of those books that I'm going to be taking slowly.
I am officially sick. I blame my sister for getting me this sick, but yes, so this is gonna be a very short update. I finished Remarkably Bright Creatures this morning at like 3 in the morning. Sleep was a struggle last night, and so I ended up just listening to the audiobook because I couldn't fall asleep. It was really, really good. I loved it. I ended up enjoying it so much more than I was expecting, and I rounded it up to a 5 stars. I think it just came at the right time. It was heartwarming, it was cozy, it was sweet. I cried. I loved all the characters. I can understand why some people are complaining about it being very slow pace. The beginning definitely felt very slow. But once I hit like 40-50%, I was hooked. I was invested. It kind of bothered me just a little bit how much they dragged out the ending because we all knew. We all knew from like the middle of the book. The twist was clear, but the characters were just not aware of it yet. And I kind of wish we'd gotten a bit more of the ending when everyone's aware of everything and it's like happy. I kind of wish we got a bit more of that and like that development and less of the dragging it out, if that makes sense. That's my little update. I'm gonna rot in bed for the rest of the day.
You are truly seeing me at my worst here. I apologize. I was up at 4 in the morning again, not on purpose, just because sickness and insomnia. And it was kind of meant to be because I ended up watching Arc 2 of Arcane at 4 in the morning once again, like last Saturday. And honestly, it felt right. Uh, and I don't even know what to say. I have cried so much today, rewatching certain scenes and just thinking about it. It's fully consuming my life right now and will consume my life until Arc 3 comes out and then probably for a couple more months because I will not be able to stop thinking about it. Who am I kidding? Years of my life are going to be consumed by this. Season 1 came out in 2021 and I could not stop thinking about it until season 2 came out. So yeah, I'm sorry. This is a bit of an arcane rant. Again, it's fully overtaken my life right now, and there's nothing else I can think about. That and the Raven cycle. So, okay, book update. Where did I leave off? I finished Remarkably Bright Creatures, and I started Jade Legacy. I'm still only like 5% into that book. I'm liking it. I'm just consumed by Arcane, so I haven't been reading that much. And I also am about to start Blue Lily Blue. I was putting it off until I felt a bit better. I feel a bit better now. Oh, I also did start an audiobook. It's called The History of Sound, I believe. Don't Yes, The History of Sound. It's a collection of short stories by Ben Shatuk. I'm about halfway through with it, and I'm really, really liking it. The narration is done very, very well. We have multiple narrators, one for each story, and I believe the author also narrates one or two of the stories in there. And you can really tell how much planning went into these stories. They all are somehow linked with each other. I don't really know how to describe them. They're kind of just little frozen snippets of time. And the collection is just so well thought out. I don't know, like fingerprints across all of them, somehow pulling them together. And yeah, I'm really liking it. A lot of secrets are being revealed. I don't know. They're written really well, and so far I've felt fully immersed in each one, which is a rare thing. I think with short stories, I usually always like a couple a lot better than others, but so far I've really liked all of them. And they're all set in New England. So the vibe is perfect because it's gray and foggy and cold and gloomy here, and it's gray and foggy and cold in the book. So yeah, that's really what I've been focusing on. Just I don't have enough brain capacity right now to really dive into Jade Legacy, so because my mind is too overrun with arcane theories. So I'm listening to the audiobook and try not to feel guilty about the fact that I've just been rotting in bed for the past couple of days. I've been working on some fan art for the Raven cycle. Currently working on Gansey because I have decided I will do a little character sheet for each of the characters. Let me just quickly show you. Alright, here's a little sneak peek of how Gansey's coming along. I'm still not 100% happy with how his face looks. But let's be honest here, I never will be. I just don't feel like I'm gonna be able to capture what I actually picture him like. But I'm excited to keep rendering it. I'm scared, guys. I'm scared for that t-shirt. I hate rendering clothes. And just look at the weather. Like it's gloomy. It's dark. Please ignore the fact that my window is dirty. But it's very, very gloomy. So yeah, I'll give you an update whenever I have something to talk about. I am scared that the reading slump has hit. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna try and push forward. The past 24 hours have been an absolute emotional wreck for me. Not only, as I previously mentioned, watched Arcane and was a complete mess, I then proceeded to read Blue Lily, Lily Blue in one go. Tell me why I stayed up until 3 in the morning reading Blue Lily, Lily Blue and sobbing my little heart out. I am absolutely exhausted. And I really should be prioritizing sleep and rest because exams are coming up, finals are coming up. I have so many projects, I have so much homework to do, but I have no regrets. I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but I absolutely loved it. It destroyed me. This series has taken over my life, and I feel so incredibly happy to have both Arcane and the Raven cycle at the same time period in my life. I will now be focusing on Jade Legacy because clearly I enjoy torturing myself with devastating stories, and I know that Jade Legacy is gonna break my heart again. I know that characters that I love are going to die because it's finale. I apologize for the background noise of rain. It has not stopped raining for the past week. Probably longer than that, to be honest. So I am reading Jade Legacy. However, I also decided to start a nonfiction just to have it on the side whenever I need a break from the death of some of my favorite characters. And so I started Witches, Midwives, and Nurses, a feminist nonfiction history about women's role in medicine. And it was originally written in the 1970s, and the edition that I'm reading was revisited in 2010. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm only 24% into it. And then I will probably just read that, finish Jade Legacy, which is like a 600-page book, and finish the audiobook, and that will be it for this reading vlog. Final update, the week is over, and what a week it has been. Also, I got a tripod, or my little sister gifted me a tripod as an early Christmas gift. So I'm hoping that the angles, and it's already crooked because I clearly don't know how to use it. I apologize. But I'm hoping it means that the videos will be slightly better or the angles of them at least. But guys, it has been a week full of rain and sickness and way too much homework and studying, And I'm ready for the semester to be over. I'm ready for November to be over, to be honest. Although the weather has gotten nicer, we're finally starting to get the beginning of December weather, the beginning of the dry season. So it's that transition between rainy season to dry season, and December and January are the most gorgeous months in Costa Rica, in my opinion. It's just so nice. We get sunny days with gorgeous, breathtaking sunsets, but it's not too hot. February, March, too hot. December, January, perfect temperature. And we get los vientos alisios, which are these like really strong winds. And I just love it. I freaking love it. So I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to going back home, although I'm going to go back to being barista for 2 months. And I'm not looking forward for 11-hour shifts 5 days a week. But I can't complain because it's a job. So, but anyways, final update. I finished The History of Sound and I overall really enjoyed it. I highly recommend listening to it as an audiobook. I think it really added to the stories and it was able to differentiate between each story because they had a different narrator and they all did such an incredible job. And I think the author just did overall a really good job at writing this collection of short stories that all connect with each other. And it was just so good, except for the second to last story. That was the only one I didn't like. And I think that's just because it's another story about a religious cult. Not my favorite. So that wasn't my favorite story for sure, but all of the other ones I did really enjoy. And I also finished Witches, Midwives, and Nurses. And it was a completely infuriating experience. I'm really glad I read it, but I cannot say that I enjoyed the reading process because it was just so enraging. I'm sorry if the angle changed, I just had to pick up a phone call, but I finished The History of Sound, I finished Witches, Midwives, and Nurses, and then Jade Legacy. I think I'm about 10% into it. It's been a rough week and I am really enjoying it, but it's Fonda Lee and it's the Greenbone Saga. And none of the characters are in a good place right now. They're all struggling. It's just really overall depressing right now. And I don't really see it getting any better. So I'm taking it slowly. Honestly, if all I do for the rest of November is finish Jade Legacy and the Raven Cycle, I'll be happy because it's been a rough month and I have so much to do next week for school. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just give a really quick little recap of what I read this week and let's rate them, shall we? On favorite to a least favorite. I mean, first spot, of course, has to be Blue Lily, Lily Blue. Nothing can beat the Raven Cycle. And then after that, I'm going to have to give it to Remarkably Bright Creatures because it came at the right time. It made me cry. And if a book makes me cry, then I love it. Third spot will have to go to Witches, Midwives, and Nurses. I just think it's such a important part of history and it should be talked about more. And last but not least, The History of Sound. I did overall really enjoy this audiobook and I really like short story collections, but at the end of the day, I don't connect with the characters as much as I do with a fully fledged length novel. So, and then fifth spot is The Girl from the Other Side. It was very short. I really did enjoy it, and I probably will continue the manga, but it's too early on for me to know how much I will love this story. Although the art is stunning, and honestly, if the story is not even that good, I'll probably still continue to read it just purely for the art because it's so pretty. But yeah, that was my reading week. I'm finally over my sickness. Cross all my fingers. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you all in my next video.